Hi, it's Brian here. Welcome to my my DIY tutorial to make an animatronic hand. Okay, so we're all in lockdown. I've finished lots of props that were on order before the lockdown, and nothing else to do. So I thought, well, let's make up a fun project. So I thought, let's make an animated, cable-controlled, servo-controlled, animated hand. Yeah, easy with just stuff I've got lying around in the workshop. I was renovating old R2D2 here, but I was just looking for a bit of inspiration to do something else. So I thought, what have I got? Right, I've got a bit of pipe, some bits of wood. What else have I got? A tape measure. And I thought, oh, and some wire. Okay. So I thought, well, what can I do with these? So how can I make the hand? So first thing I thought, I'll use the pipe for the fingers of the hand. Okay, so no measuring on this, because you can, if you want to make a more precise one and make it a bit better than I've made this, by all means do that. And I welcome you sending me some video and pictures of your finished projects. Okay, I have. So what I'm going to do is we line it up to the finger and just roughly mark the length of each finger. Okay, and then off to the fret saw, cut out the fingers, and we end up with fingers, but they're not very flexible. So next thing we need to do is we need to put it up against the finger again, mark where the joints are. Okay, mark where the joints are, and we end up with there's one cut out there. Okay, and that'll bend. When we fix on the retractable part, we will actually separate these so that they bend a bit easier, but I've left it like that for now. Okay, so there's finger. So next thing, I thought I do need to make, need a way to make these spring back once it's been pulled by the cable. I've got no springs in here, nothing else. I couldn't think what else to use. And then I thought, yeah, epiphany. I thought, one of these. It's a retractable tape measure, and it's spring steel. So I cut a piece off, first of all, off an old one. There it is there, okay? And I thought, when you bend it, it springs back. Perfect. So that's what I did. I used this. Now, when it comes to attaching this, what I did was I riveted it. Okay, I cut out all my fingers and I drilled it. Drilled this and I riveted them on. Okay, but you could screw them, little screws, whatever, or yeah, just screws. If you've got a rivet gun, it's easier, it's quicker. And there's one of my finished fingers there. Once again, if we bend it around like this, it springs back. Perfect. Who needs to spend thousands of pounds, dollars on the equipment when you can do it with an old retractable ruler? There you go. Don't know if anyone's done it before, but I was quite made up with that. Okay, so there's our fingers. So the next thing we need to do is, now we've got the fingers, we need something to put on. We need the palm. We need this part of the hand. So I've got my scrap of wood, I put my hand on it, and I drew roughly, I don't know if you can see that on there, roughly the shape, there we go, roughly the shape of the hand on there. Okay, cut that out, and we end up with the shape of the hand. Now, where the thumb goes is was slightly a bit tricky. You have to sort of a bit of guesswork. I'll show you on the finished hand what I had to do. Okay, because the thumb is actually further slightly down. You couldn't have them just like this. The thumb is slightly down if you look at a hand. Okay, so I had to work out a couple of angles, but okay. All with the eyes, okay, no CAD or anything like that, just worked it all out. Okay, so we've got that. So next thing to do is to place all the fingers onto the hand and screw or rivet them into place. Now if you look at your hand, they're not all straight up, so when you put them on, just give them a little bit of an angle just to make them look more like a hand. Okay, so see, I've got that one on a bit of an angle there, and then you do the rest of them similar. Okay, they're not all straight up, remember that, just like that, so we get a nice shape to them. Okay, so that's the next bit. So don't forget, rivet or screw them into place. Now, how do we make it move? Normally I'd use brake cable, and I'd take the brake cable out and use the sheath and put a thinner wire or something like that inside. That's how I would do it. Unfortunately, I've got no brake cable in the workshop. What can I do? Then I found, if you look right over in the corner over there, you'll see I've got a big roll. It looks like electrical. I don't know where it came from. It's just there. Big roll. It's about 50 meters of it. I don't know if it's alarm cable or it's phone cable. I'm quite sure. But when you go into, I cut a piece off, Let me find it. There you go. I cut a piece off like so, and I thought, well, this will do. So I pulled all the wires out, and there's about 6 wires inside. Okay, and I pulled them all out like so. Okay, and then I had my sheath, which is not unlike a brake cable sheath. Okay, so there you go. Problem solved. Cheap and cheerful, cost me nothing. Rolled, just sitting there, don't know why it's there. Then I thought I'd normally use for this, I would have used fishing line, but I've got no fishing line either. Oh, actually I have now. I've just noticed some up there. I've got some there, but I thought, well, okay, I've got the fishing line there, but I'm going to use the wire I pulled out of the sheath. Such cheap and cheerful job this is. So I put that back in there. One wire goes in like so, and you'll find that it moves freely. Set the way I'm pushing it. Okay, so it moves freely. So this is ideal because there's nothing obstructing it. So next thing you need to do is take your piece of sheath that you're going to use. Now I have a staple, like a staple gun, with the round staples in that you connect cables to floors and that sort of thing. Okay, I have one of them. If you haven't got one of them, small nail, bend it, or use some hot glue. And what we do is we attach. Let's get it cut up one. We attach the wires, the sheath, to where all the fingers are on the piece of wood, like so, and you staple them all into place. Okay, to each corresponding finger. Then we need to attach the end of this for somewhere to make the fingers move. So if I pick up the actual hand, like so, we'll see. I made this out of some scraps of wood lying around the workshop again. All I've done is glue and screw them together. Then I drilled 4 holes here, along here, 4 holes along here, and then I countersunk slightly bigger, just enough to get that in. So I've got a small hole for the cable to go through, and a bigger hole to rest this sheath in, and then I hot glued that in, so they're all stuck nice and firm. Then I pushed the wire through, and then I needed something to pull the cable, and the pipe is not big enough, the finger won't fit through it, and I had nothing else. I could have just used loops, but so I thought, and then I found an old paint roller that isn't going to get used ever again. So what I did was I cut off little bits, and you see them there. I just cut off little bits, and they're just ideal. Thumb fits, finger fits, they're great. So I tied the cable to those on this side here. I've got a servo arm because I tried it with the servo as well, and the servo, and I'll add on at the end of this section with the servo connected to it. Okay, so that's them. And if I bring the hand up, see the hand there? There it is. Okay, and what I did is I fed the cable through each finger and drilled a little hole at the top, pulled the wire through a couple of times, got the right tension. These do need adjusting again, and if I pull one here, I bring one up here like this. If I pull one, for example, which finger is this? Don't know, let's see. There you go, we've got a movement there. Fantastic, look at that. And let's try this one. There you go. Okay, so there's our movement on the fingers. Okay. Okay, so I will attach, the one that's not attached is the thumb. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we'll attach the thumb to a servo a bit later and show you that one moving too. But that's our animatronic hand, done for nothing. Done for things that you would have probably thrown out of your workshop. Thank you. If you enjoyed it and you're going to have a go at this yourself, please do send me some pictures, send me videos, and I appreciate your comments. If you've enjoyed this video, I will be doing a few more. Subscribe to my channel and give us a thumbs up. Thank you. So here are some close-ups of the hand. If you zoom in, we'll see where the cable is fixed there. They go up into the hand, and there are some little holes drilled which you tie the cable around. Now the thumb, like I said earlier, the thumb was a bit of a problem because it is on an angle. So what I did with this was just glue, if you can see, a piece of wood on there, and I did sort of sand it down a bit so I got a bit more of a curve. Let me find it there. Okay, a bit more of a curve on it, and then I riveted the thumb. Let's turn that round. Riveted the thumb on a bit of an angle. Okay, you see that there? Okay, there you go. Okay, so that is the complete hand. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to set up the servo. Okay, here's the hand all laid out, and like I said earlier, I did have to make a bit of a compensation for the thumb, which is I showed you a little earlier on. Okay, the fingers are connected here, go right down the tube, and they're connected here. Okay, and you pull that, and the finger moves. Now, the thumb does exactly the same, but we've taken the thumb to here and we've attached the servo to a horn. If you were to connect all the fingers to servos, which is feasible to do, I'd suggest one for the thumb, and then just 2 more servos, depending on what sort of movement you want from it. But two more servos. One servo will operate 2 fingers, and the way you would do that is the horn. You get a double horn. Make sure they're quite long horns as well, but a double horn, and then you connect one side to, for example, the index finger, and the other side to the 3rd finger. So when you operate it, and it's got the twist on it, it means that the fingers will move independently, like so. Okay, and same with the other one. That would be the little finger and the middle finger, and they would do the same movement, and you get a good movement. But it depends what you want, or you can have a servo for each one and get an individual movement for each, so you could actually get it to make a fist if you wanted to. You know, it just depends what you want. So that's up to you. Okay, so what I've done, I've connected this servo just very quickly. Like I say, I do suggest you spend a bit more time than I am doing it. Okay, this is just to give you a brief idea. It all still works. Okay, so the wire comes down, it's connected to the servo. I also suggest that you use probably fishing line rather than this wire, because it's a bit more flexible than the wire. Okay, so anyway, here we go. I've got this connected up to the servo, and I give this little gizmo here a bit of a twist. We get the movements. There you go. We get the movements of the thumb. Fantastic. Very good. Okay. Okay, so that is my cable controlled or servo controlled animatronic hand, done for nothing. Thank you.